David, nice way to start the season, huh?
Yeah, we're back in the win column. You know, it's been a long time. We went through a pretty tough year last year and no wins, you know, and you know, Larry Wisney, all the people at the Arlen's Test Facility, the people at Pico, you know, got us with, you know, just tremendous equipment, good propellers, great motor program, and boy, it showed with the old boat, we got 2 new ones in the shop. I can't wait to get to Detroit.
In lane 2, Stephen David in lane 3. Coming up for the start. Excellent start.
We've got a beautiful race with Dave Villwock on the inside. And Mark Evans next to him in the Miss Budweiser, then stringing out the boats all very tight.
They're coming down neck and neck. Villwock on the inside, just a slight advantage by the Budweiser. Villwock right on the buoy line. Just nips the pin slightly in front. Budweiser right on his hip.
As we go around the Belle Isle turn, looking from the Levat eye in the sky, Villwock with the lead over Mark Evans. Villwock again in Pico's American Dream, the blue boat on the right side of your screen, and on the left, it is Miss Budweiser, the red boat, with Mark Evans at the wheel. Looks like he's closing some ground on him, Tom.
He's closing some ground. That's the smoothest part of the race course, and Mark Evans is trying to pick up the pace. Villwock still in the lead, coming by the Detroit Yacht Club. Both boats looking really good. Going into the pit turn. Villwock with a slight advantage. Tight turn.
Look at that rooster tail around the rooster tail turn. And I say he should be gaining some water on him, obviously, not some ground, Tommy.
He's got that right sponson flying a little bit. The weather conditions are a lot better for this final heat, as we saw earlier.
This is a 5-lap race around this 2.5-mile course on
Whoa,
the Detroit River.
Villwock got a little bit loose. Stephen David, we've been told, has hit a buoy. He'll be penalized. Dave Villwock now pulling out a little bit more on the Miss Budweiser. Budweiser going wide around the Belle Isle turn.
A little bit wide there indeed.
Dave Villwock out of Seattle, Washington, leading the Gold Cup. Dave is a graduate from the limited inboard category. He's run flat bottoms. He's won championships in a lot of classes. He's going to have to call on all the skills he's got as a driver to win this race.
Now, Tom, the wind has died down somewhat from earlier, but it's still a little bit rough out there, isn't it?
Still a little bit of rough, but look at that Miss Pico go through the rooster tail turn. She's handling beautiful. Dave Villwock makes his own propellers for his race boat, and I'm sure he's got a great setup on this boat for the final heat. Mark Evans now jumped to the inside.
What does that have the capability of doing for him, if anything?
Well, he's going to hope to try and get into Dave's wake now to look for some smooth water. He's crossed his wake twice, which is actually an advantage for Villwock. He's going from inside to outside.
A race for 4th and 5th in the back of the pack, as we see from the Levat eye in the sky.
DeWalt Tool looks like it's in 3rd place, and Miss Wellness Plan in 4th. We still have Dave Villwock in a large lead over the Miss Budweiser.
Everybody throwing up enormous rooster tails.
The crowd loving it. They're clapping. They're seeing a great Gold Cup heat. Dave Villwock still in the lead. Miss Budweiser in 2nd place. DeWalt Tools in 3rd. Wellness Plan, and Jimmy King coming up on the Wellness Plan.
And the boats are pretty well strung out at this point. Tom, is there a danger now? Because you've got to get through the whole 5 laps in good shape. You got to take care of your equipment.
Well, Dave is, I'm sure he's...
There goes a buoy.
There goes a buoy. Definitely. Dave is listening and feeling a lot of strange things in his boat now. He's got a comfortable lead, but as a driver, I can tell you, he's worried about every nut, bolt, and screw on that boat. He wants to protect that lead and come home the winner.
All right. Dave Villwock in Pico's American Dream, as we see the Zodiac lap 132 miles an hour for Dave.
Dave's boat still handling beautifully, running well, coming to the rooster tail turn.
Right there.
Hitting some chop from the boats that he's catching. He's getting ready to lap some boats. Last lap, white flag lap. Villwock still in a commanding lead. One more lap to go, and his name will go in history books.
Dave has got to be a mighty happy guy right at this moment, but he's also got to be a mighty careful guy.
You know, it's every driver's dream to get his name on that Gold Cup just one time, and Dave Villwock is within 1/2 a lap of winning the APBA Gold Cup.
And Tom, you want to know about that, having yourself on it 3 times.
Oh, it's very exciting. It was nothing like the first APBA Gold Cup win.
Last time around the Belle Isle Bridge turn for Dave Villwock. Little bouncy there. Now appears to be nice and smooth along the water.
Budweiser in second place still. Not very close, but a good, strong second place.
I suppose the good news is that Budweiser is holding up after all the repairs they had to do on it overnight.
Right, and again, Dave Villwock is just praying that he can make it through this last corner. The rooster tail turn on his way for the checkered flag. Not too far to go.
There's the checkered flag. Beautiful job by Dave Villwock and Pico's American Dream.
To say, John, there is jubilation down here. Dave Villwock and the Pico American Dream, winners of the 1996 Gold Cup. How does that sound? How does it feel?
It's pretty special here. You know, this is Danny's last race, and I'm a little choked up. You know, Danny had been trying to win a Gold Cup for a long time, and we tried with Chip and we couldn't do it, and we tried as hard as we could, and with a number of teams and couldn't do it. But with Progressive Tool and all the people here, that we just kept working and working and working all through the weekend, and we got the computer running the heat before last. We got to tune the engine up some, and it showed. I mean, awesome power, and the boat just handled perfect. You know, not one flaw in the equipment. An unbelievable group of people, and I'm just proud to be involved with Progressive Tool.
Congratulations, David Villwock. Let's go to Jim.
That's true, and as they come up to the start line, they do not get it. It is a false start. They did not put the green flag out. Now here's the trick. As they come up to the start, come down into the box. Let's see if we've got it. There it is. The green flag is out, and we're underway. A good start. And look at that, 6 across with one trailer boat about 15 seconds behind the lead line. It is Pico American Dream with Dave Villwock in the lead in turn number 1. But boy, has he got the competition all around him. And I'll tell you, as they come back out on that straightaway, let's see if Smokin' Joe's on the inside is going to be able to catch him. Remember, Mark Tate was talking about it being a little bit sloppy on the inside. Lane 2 may have been the lane he would want to be in.
Look at the skid fin hang on that big rooster tail, throws it right up in the air as the Pico American Dream is in first. On the inside is the Smokin' Joe. On the outside of the boat on your left is Mark Evans. And look at the way the Pico is riding. Really light, Dick.
He really likes that ride. As we said earlier, this is a brand new boat. This is the first time it's been in competition. This is not the boat that he won the Gold Cup in. He likes this boat better. Looking down from our Labatt Eye in the sky, you can see second place is the Miss Budweiser. Mark Evans getting one of the best rides he's had so far today in that boat. It looks like they've unscrewed it a little bit and loosened it up.
Zodiac lap speed 149 for the leader. Look what's happening back in the pack, Dick. We're looking at the third place boat. Budweiser has moved on the other side of that rooster tail in second.
At 137 miles per hour, and you can see the battle is on for second place between the Miss Budweiser on the outside and the Smokin' Joe's on the inside. Dave Villwock having a good ride. He took the lead right off the start of this race, and he's held it. If he just keeps his speed up and he stays right side up, he's in good shape.
Look at the way the Smokin' Joe's is getting loose as Mark Tate is trying to take over second and has taken over second from Miss Budweiser as they come down to complete lap number 2.
What a battle this is. Smokin' Joe's crossed over in the wake of the lead boat to try to get second away, and he did it effectively. He got inside, ran the lesser course, and took it right away from Mark Evans. Mark Evans is now in the chase. Your lead boat still holds a good margin over the other two.
The Pico American Dream looking for its third victory in 4 tries, having won at Phoenix, taken the Gold Cup in Detroit. It was Mark Tate at Smokin' Joe's at Kansas City, and Pico leading here as we look at Tate and Smokin' Joe's.
What a beautiful job of driving by all of these guys out there, and best of all, at this particular time, the American Dream. Dave Villwock's boat. There you can see Mark Tate has hung the boat out as far as he can hang it out. It is really loose in the water, but it did at least benefit him to the point of taking over second place. Will the third place boat, Miss Budweiser, be able to catch him? At this point, it's anybody's ball game.
Budweiser must have gone wide because he was riding in lane 3 to give the Smokin' Joe's a chance to move into lane 3 and come on the outside of the lead boat. That's unusual.
It certainly is. Mark is having a good ride out there in the Miss Budweiser. You can see he takes a little bit of flight out there and comes back down, and it rides beautifully in the water. Our eye in the sky, again, giving us a great view of how these boats are shaking out from 1 through 3. Here is your second place boat, the Smokin' Joe's, as they come down now to take the white flag. That means 1 more lap to go. Your leader is Pico American Dream right there. Second place is the Smokin' Joe's, and third place the Miss Budweiser.
And if it remains this way with less than a lap to go, it'll be 3 different winners in 3 different years of racing here at Evansville. With Budweiser the winner in '94, Smokin' Joe's in '95, and Pico looking at the checkered flag coming around on this last lap.
Pico American Dream, Dave Villwock, he said he had the engine guy in. They tweaked it a little bit, and it looks like it has paid off for him. He had a great run right from the green flag at the start of this race. He got himself in a perfect position on the start, took the lead into the first turn, and has not let it go. Here's the checkered flag out to Pico American Dream, his 3rd win in 4 races. Dave. Back here in Evansville, Indiana, the winners stand. Oh, Dave, well, the trophy broke. Truth be known, it happened earlier in the day. The 4 Freedoms trophy, one of the columns came loose on it earlier in the day, but now Dave thinks he's a very strong guy.
David, that's 3 wins in 1 season now. Pretty heady stuff. Tell us about the start. That was the whole boat race.
Well, we made a good run. Pico, like I said, they got Ray here, the guy standing right here. He's come in. He was from our dyno facility and helped us make a lot of power, and you know, we just kept trucking on, kept making it better and better.
So it was boat speed, but you also timed the start very well.
We timed the start and had a great boat ride. It was pretty rough out there, and we just had to keep legging it through, and we knew that from an earlier heat that we ran some fast times in some rough water, but again, the Pico guys got us a great boat race, a great boat.
So you were a little more confident about lane 2 than some of your fans might have been.
Probably when somebody said we got lane 2, I said we got them right where we want them.
The O'Doul's High Point Championship race by being the top qualifier at 168 mile an hour, missing the mark for this course by 1 mile an hour set by Mark Tate and Smokin' Joe's last year. This year, Tate finished 2nd in the qualifying to the Pico American Dream as we look at our top 10 qualifiers on this fast course here on the Columbia River.
For the championship heat.
Lane 1, Dave Villwock and Pico's American Dream. Lane 2, the Miss Budweiser, driven by Mark Evans. Mark Tate and Smokin' Joe's has the 3rd slot. Mike Hansen in lane 4 in DeWalt Tools. Linwood Honda with Jimmy King in lane 5. Scott Pierce in the Chaplain's Bellevue in lane 6. And the trailer, Steve David. And here they come for the start of the winner-take-all finale.
Right off the bat, the pace boat. Scott Pierce has moved out to lead the rest of the boats across the field. The green flag has flown, and now watch him in lanes 1, 2, and 3. Dave Villwock would seem to have the advantage on the inside. Let's see if he can take advantage of it. Whoa! Mark Tate got very light on that turn as he came through. Coming out of the corner first onto the back stretch. Pico American Dream, 2nd place. The Miss Budweiser. 3rd place will be Smokin' Joe's. It is a tight battle, 1, 2, 3. DeWalt Tools back in 4th place, holding strong, and he's still up there. Look at it through the windshield of the DeWalt Tools. Nothing but rooster tails in front. He's got to be careful cutting across those wakes. He does a good job. Look at him battle that wheel.
And let's remember, as we see the Smokin' Joe and Budweiser battle for 2nd place with the Smokin' Joe's overtaking the Bud at this point. Remember, this is a 5-lapper.
155 miles per hour for our Zodiac lap speed for the Pico American Dream. Whoa! Look at him get light. He has a great ride. He gets it right back down on the water, but look at this battle for 2nd place. This is the best that Miss Budweiser has run. She's got the inside on the Smokin' Joe's boat. Meanwhile, the Miss Linwood Honda is holding on to 5th place. There you see the Miss Budweiser in that battle for 2nd place, still holding 2nd place, but just barely over the Smokin' Joe's.
And I'll tell you, the Budweiser is on the ragged edge in that 2nd slot, trying to catch this boat, the Pico American Dream, driven by Dave Villwock.
If we have to give applause, if we have to give plaudits, all the crews deserve credit, but special credit going out to the Smokin' Joe's crew, Steve Woomer and the group, putting that boat back after that fire and getting it into the championship heat. Now riding in 3rd place. You can see the distance to 2nd. There's the Smokin' Joe's, and they did a great job.
Budweiser slipped to the inside. He's taking lane 1, trying to coming up on Villwock. He's going to dive in there and give it all he's got.
He's got some rough water is what he's got right off, and look at him bounce around in that boat. Mark Evans, and he spins out. Mark Evans spins out. He got loose. The boat lost it. It did not have its traction from the skid fin. If that skid fin breaks out of the water, the boat's liable to just slip like a rock, and it did. Here's your leader now, and he is not going to be challenged by the Miss Budweiser. He's now got to be aware that Smokin' Joe's is going to try to chip him away. Smokin' Joe's about not quite a quarter of a lap back on him, and he's trying to move up. He now has nobody in front of him but the leader.
And the leader is Pico's American Dream.
Done a great job of trying to play catch-up, but oh my goodness! Oh boy, I don't know how that boat came back down on the water, but it did. Mark Tate, I'm sure, hit the canards as hard as he possibly could. He saw that horizon disappear. Here comes Dave Villwock for his 4th win this year. What a year the Pico American Dream team has had. It has truly been an American Dream season.
And Pico American Dream on top of the Fruit of the Loom scoreboard, 50.
Point of this day, things were kind of going Tate's way, but they took a big turnaround.
Well, we knew that third heat was crucial, so you know we threw everything at them we had right there, and was lucky enough that they took a bad hop and we didn't, and we were in the right lane in the final to take it.
And you have momentum going back to Seattle.
We sure do, and thanks again, Pico. I can't say it enough.
You would sit there with a delay like this, knowing that it's a wind-associated delay, and that even though you'd raced a couple of heats already, you had wind to contend with all day. This sort of kind of moves on your head a little bit.
Yeah, and the thing that's strange about this wind is it's flaky. It's not coming from any one direction. I'm standing here looking at the Budweiser flags, and they change direction about every 30 seconds.
We had a boat came down, okay, leaped right over the rooster tail, rode right up on it. The boat sometimes can't tell the difference between that. Look out, Dave! Look out, Dave Villwock! Oh, just about blows the Pico over. Talk about the wind. If he wasn't thinking about it before, he certainly is now. And Mark head on now, and he's heading down into that first turn. Down in the so-called fly zone on this race course, and there's a lot of roller action out there, as you can see. The uneven surface. Oh my, is he close?
Now, is that just luck that thing came back down?
That's
I mean,
luck.
he's got everything out of the water at that point, profit included.
That's like at some point you become spam in the can, basically, and it's going to do what it's going to do, and what that is good design, and I think that's where I would get in trouble with the Budweisers. I wouldn't even get it that close to being up in the area, and I'd be gone. So that's a beautiful boat that this boat and the boat that actually crashed on Friday. They're great boats.
And Fred Leland and those guys have spent a fair amount of time working these boats out aerodynamic.
I think Dave's kind of counting his blessings here. Dave, you know how high up you got there on that front stretch?
Yeah, we're pretty high, but it's rough out here, and we wanted to win real bad to get our lane choice. That was the heat that we control our destiny. Much like the third heat in Pasco. So we'll just try to get in the right lane and see if we can win this thing.
Well, you were in the outside line there, and you still were able to take Mark Evans there.
Yeah, the boat's running good. We got a good start, and so I don't know. We'll just keep running, and it was a near disaster, but we brought it back.
How's this seafair right after this as Dave Villwock reaches for the sky?
I don't think they'll waste any time getting a green flag up if the boats are halfway decent, and they're very decent. Well, let's look for the green.
There it is.
The green flag is off, and the Budweiser is off too in the inside lane, lane number 3. The Budweiser got a great start. Mark Evans got a magnificent start down into the first corner. The Budweiser leads everybody through. The Pico American Dream is right on his hip, and in the inside, the camel-powered Smoke and Joe's. Oh, they're coming off side by side, all 3 of them. What a magnificent start. But the Budweiser does not seem to have the horsepower to maintain the lead, and the Picos has caught up, and so has the Smoke and Joe's. 3 guys. Oh my goodness, I hope they take care of themselves out there.
That's a whale of a boat race right there, Mike. Dave seems to have the upper hand as they get down into the turn there. The boat was just a little bit looser and seemed to push a little bit easier. Smoke and Joe's right now is kind of bogged down running that inside lane. Dave takes a big hop and comes around. Now you can see the marks coming on strong around the outside, but Dave Villwock seems to be in the command position right now.
Dave Villwock does take command at the end of lap number 1. Remember, this is a 5-lapper, not a 3-lapper. The Budweiser overtakes the camel-powered Smoke and Joe's in second place at the end of lap number 1. The Smoke and Joe's is staying in there, but losing power fast now, and seems to be losing distance as well. The other 2 are running away from her. DeWalt Tools in 4th place, the Kiss 106 in 5th place, and Scott Pierce has, no, it isn't. It's Jimmy King and then Scott Pierce in that order. Out of turn number 1 for the second time around. The Picos American Dream is stretching it out, trying to find some clean water any place, but there isn't much on Lake Washington at this hour. And the Miss Budweiser in second place has pulled away from the camel-powered Smoke and Joe's, and the Budweiser is showing us some speed and some handling we haven't seen before.
The Bud looks good. The Bud looks very, very good.
I think that Dave Villwock right now has got the boat right. He's certainly got the advantage being out in front right now. As he comes around, the inside, he can pick any lane that he wants. Smokin' Joe seems to be down on power, and they were definitely compressor stalling when they came by. He gets a little quicker through the turns, but the Budweiser seems to have the real strong bottom end right here and starts to drive away from him as they accelerate. He gets really loose.
I don't know. Mark Tate's giving him all he can handle, and there's still, what, 3 laps to go. Mark is really going to have to do a great job here, unless Mark Tate runs out of places to go, because remember, he's got to deal with, see the water that he's got to run in? That is coming from Dave Villwock, and that's going to slow him down.
What a great battle we've got going for second and third. Dave Villwock still holds the lead as we're on lap number 3, but it is a great battle for second place between the Budweiser and the camel-powered Smokin' Joes. And Mark Tate is not going to allow Mark Evans to run away from him, not at all. And they've got a dandy battle going. First lap for the Picos was 137, second lap 138. So these guys are being a little bit careful speed-wise, but they're still keeping the hammer pretty well down. It does appear that wing is giving way, though, on the Pico American Dream. That wing is giving way on the Pico American Dream. This could be a factor. The second place Miss Budweiser sensing there's a problem with the Pico. The wing has caved in on the Pico American Dream, and the camel-powered Smokin' Joe staying with them.
Yeah, you can still hear somebody compressor stalling there. It doesn't sound to be like a Budweiser. I think it's Mark Tate, and generally that's from backing off the throttle. You can see that as he's going on the inside there, he's having to just ease up on the throttle just a little bit as he gets down there to keep the boat set, and that gives Mark just a little bit of advantage on the outside to be able to drive away from. He seems to be able to pull up a little bit on the inside, but Mark Evans is really running a tight lane there, keeping Mark Tate close to the buoy line and bleeding off boat speed.
Nice corner for Mark Evans, too, down there in that lower turn. Your third place boat overall remains the camel-powered Smokin' Joes, and the fourth place boat is the DeWalt Tools. Well, now we see some damage. That wing has caved in. It's bent downward a little bit, and that could mean the tail feathers could come apart pretty soon, start trailing some pieces on the Pico American Dream. With one more lap to go, that might make the difference in this boat race, but thus far it has not, and the Budweiser continues to hold down second, but by very little. The Budweiser getting a wild ride across the start-finish line, and the camel-powered Smokin' Joe stand right with him as they go down into turn number 1 for the last time. The Pico wings still together, although it is bowed just a little bit. It doesn't appear it was as good as the one that was on there before.
No, it appears that they're having some problems there, and the big problem that that'll do for Dave Villwock and the Pico's American Dream is as that wing starts to fail, they start to lose, the effect that it has, which makes the boat roll over on its nose and pound off those rollers just a little bit harder and bounce up in the air. And Dave's really got his hands full just keeping the thing pointed straight.
But now it may not make a difference. There's a quarter of a lap to go in this Texaco Cup, and despite the damaged wing, the Pico American Dream appears to be headed for yet another victory in 1996. What a magnificent year they are having, and it isn't going to end here, ladies and gentlemen. The Pico American Dream is the winner of the Texaco Cup 1996, coming apart, but still the winner. Second place, it's the camel-powered Smokin' Joes in the Budweiser at drag race. Smokin' Joes will take second place. The Bud slips to
Bill Rocky, who's out on the finger pier out by the Pico pits.
Want to see a happy owner? I think this is a happy owner. Fred Leland, the luck just keeps going. You win again.
Yeah, we wanted to win this one really bad. It's our hometown. We didn't win here last year. All the guys want to win it, but there can only be one winner, and I'm just really happy it's us.
Athletes always, you can feel it in a year. Do you feel that maybe this is your year, that everything's fallen into place?
Well, everything, we've been winning a lot. Everything's turned around. Dave Villwock's the greatest driver there is, and my sponsor, Pico, makes this all possible. Things just couldn't be better.
Yeah, these conditions were about as bad as you can get. That's a tribute to Dave to be able to win this in these type of conditions.
Well, actually, the boat we had today is a better rough water boat than the one we wrecked. And it might have been an omen yesterday that, the boat went over. For one, had it not went yesterday, we would have lost the race today. And two, it might have been a much worse wreck in these water conditions.
Fred, congratulations. A big win here in Seattle. I know you're about as happy as it gets. The rumor out there is that Dave might have run out of fuel. And that
champagne is good champagne when you're the champion at Seafair.
Incredible win in horrible conditions.
It was horrible, but they gave me a boat that, had the best boat ride, so we're able to just keep pressing on. And then they cut the fuel load just right. It had half a lap extra.
Is that what happened? You ran out of fuel?
Yeah, I think we ran out of gas. I was left hitchhiking.
What's it mean to win in Seattle? I know this is your home and everything. This is what it's all about, isn't it?
It means everything. I mean, it's, you know, everybody's here. All the people that work real hard on this race boat to make it as great as it is, you know, are right here. The Wisney's family's here, you know, watching their boat run, and, you know, we're just pleased. Here's Al Wisney right here. Come on in, Al. Come on in.
All right, Al.
This is one of the Mr. Picos himself right here. So.
Okay, you're a step closer to the net.
Pico's Dave.
Dave, you're a step closer to the national championship now.
Yeah, we'll just, you know, we're closer. You know, we get closer every race, and, you know, an awesome day like today, you know, we just couldn't be happier. It's just a perfect day.
Okay, things are going just perfect for the Pico American Dream this season. Dave Villwock, a winner here in
Plane race in Canada was in the era of open cockpits, airplane engine power, and make love, not war. That was nearly 30 years ago. Today, it's F-16 canopies and turbine engines. Aerodynamic.
Dave, I know you'd rather be out there racing to get this victory, but it's a victory nonetheless.
Yeah, it is, but, you know, we'd have sure liked to run that last heat. It's just that the weather just isn't going to cooperate. God, it's just unbelievable how many thousands and thousands of great Canadian fans that came out to watch some races. You know, as luck would have it, though, at least that Heat 3A was, you know, the top dogs out there having at it. So at least we had sort of a final before the final, and we put on a great show anyway, you know, and just happy to be here, happy to have